So, we are now entering June. Movie theaters are starting to reopen and things feel like they're finally going back to normal. So, one of the things I'm most excited about is going to the movies. Going back to a movie theater and smelling the nasty smells of hot dogs and nachos that people can somehow eat in the dark in a movie theater. I don't know how you do it, people. The only thing I can consume in a movie theater is candy or popcorn. I can't wait to be bombarded with the sounds of assholes talking and snickering and stepping in sticky shit on the floor and just be fully immersed in that theater experience. So, without further ado, I'm gonna talk about everything I'm excited to see. Not everything is going to be released in theaters. A lot of the stuff I'm excited about is coming out on Netflix. I'm gonna be talking about movies and TV. So, if you're interested in seeing what I'm excited about, stay tuned. So I was gonna put this in order, but I didn't feel like it. I had a hard weekend, okay? The first movie I am most excited to see is The Conjuring Part 3.
The devil made me do it.
I know that the Warrens, the real life Lorraine and Ed Warren, aren't great people. However, I adore Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. They are amazing. They're incredible. I love their chemistry. I love their relationship. They are the reason I come back to these films. I love them so much. I'm so excited to see the third installment, and I know this one, it focuses on a boy who I believe murdered some people in his family, and he claims that the devil made him do it. And it's a court drama from the looks of it, and it's based on a real life case that the Warrens did. So I don't know much about the case, but I'm interested in seeing how they interpret it or adapt it for this film. Or they try to make the boy seem innocent for what he did? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm most excited about Vera and Patrick, my mom and dad. And that comes out June 4th. And I believe that's gonna be in theaters. So soon, baby. Maybe that will be my first movie I see. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe not. My next most anticipated horror movie is Nia DaCosta's Candyman. Candyman is one of the few horror movies that scared the shit out of me when I was little. Like, so much so that I don't like to revisit it. Like, it creeped me out when I was little, and I haven't watched it since I was little, and I don't know what to expect with the new one. I think from the looks of the trailer that we were given is there's some relation to it. I don't know if Tony Todd is in this, but either way, I'm excited for this new interpretation, and it's from a female. I'm excited to see her interpretation of the Candyman and the story. My other most anticipated movie is Halloween Kills, which I think right now has an October 15th, 2021 release date, but I'm not sure if that's accurate. So this is the follow-up to David Gordon Green's Halloween from 2018, and it is the aftermath of the events that happened in Halloween 2018. So Laurie and her granddaughter and daughter escaped their fiery house, and they locked Michael Myers down in the basement, and these are the events that happen after. And obviously Michael gets out of the basement somehow, and he is pretty much unscathed. And I think this film is going to explore more of Haddonfield's residents, including Tommy Doyle, who's played by Anthony Michael Hall, and they're bringing back Kyle Richards' character, who I can't think of right now. So I'm excited to see all of those characters come back and see the town deal with Michael and see how they explain how he got out of the basement. Hopefully that comes out October 15th, and hopefully we get a trailer soon, because I'm fucking antsy, okay? I need one. The other movie I'm so excited for, and I don't know when it's coming out. I think October 29th is the release date I found. I don't know if this is true, but it's Antlers. I read the short story that this film is based on, or I didn't read it, I listened to it. I listened to the audiobook because it was free, and it was so creepy and atmospheric, and I was so uncomfortable while I was listening to it. Like, I took my dog for a walk and I listened to it, and it was creeping me out. The sounds, just the overall story, I was so immersed, and I think it's gonna make for a really creepy film, and I'm really excited for it, and I hope it comes out October, because the short story was fucking incredible, and I highly recommend you go listen to it. You can read it too for free, I believe, but I highly recommend you listen to it, because that experience it got me amped for the movie. Next movie I am anticipating is the Fear Street series on Netflix. So this is actually 3 movies, a trilogy that they're releasing all like within 1 month, I believe. It's July 2nd, 9th, and 16th, and it follows this witch who comes back to the town of Shadyside and she starts killing people. It looks awesome. It's set in the 90s and then it goes back in time to like the 1800s and stuff. I don't know a whole ton because I don't want to look into too much, but it looks great. The trailer got me excited. The next movie I'm excited for, which is also a Netflix movie. It's a classic horror story, which is premiering July 14th. I do not know anything about this. They released a teaser trailer, which just is basically saying it's a classic horror story, and it's just a house. And I'm just curious. I'm intrigued, okay? I think it's gonna be a haunted house story based on the teaser trailer of a house. So I don't want to know too much about it, but call something a classic horror story. I'm gonna watch it. The next movie I'm highly anticipating is Werewolves Within by Josh Rubin. It is his follow-up to Scare Me, which was on Shudder, and I believe it's about a small town that believes there's a werewolf killing people, and looks so good. I really liked Scare Me. I thought it was really creative and funny. I loved the performances, and this one looks very similar in tone, and I love werewolves, so I welcome any and all werewolves that you give me, and I think I'm gonna like this one. The next movie I'm most anticipating is The Night House, and that is coming out August 20th, and I didn't watch the trailer. I just read a quick brief synopsis, which I don't even know what it's about, but I saw that it was directed by David Bruckner, who did The Ritual for Netflix, which that movie was so good. It was so creepy, the setting, the creatures, and I don't want to know too much about it, but that's why I'm so excited for this one, because I loved The Ritual. The Night House is described as a 2020 American psychological horror film. It stars Rebecca Hall. Reeling from the unexpected death of her husband, Beth is left alone in the lakeside home he built for her. Against the advice of her friends, she begins digging into his belongings, yearning for answers. What she finds are secrets both strange and terrible, and a mystery she's determined to resolve. So it's mysterious, it's psychological, it sounds like a haunted house tale. I'm into it, so let's see. Woo! Okay, this is probably I've said this with everyone, but this is probably the most anticipated movie for me, and that is Last Night in Soho, which is coming out October 22nd, and this is from Edgar Wright, who we know from Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, At World's End, Baby Driver. I love everything Edgar Wright has done. I really love Hot Fuzz so much. It's so well done, so clever, so funny, and I'm really excited to see him delve into the horror genre, and I think he's gonna nail it. I think he's gonna kill it. I believe he has described this as Don't Look Now, and I believe he said Don't Look Now is one of his favorite movies, or so I love Don't Look Now. I highly recommend it. It's kind of a slow psychological burn with Donald Sutherland, and he and his wife in the film lose their daughter, and then while they're staying in Venice, he believes that he sees his daughter, and he's trying to find her and uncover what's going on, and meanwhile there's a murderer going around Venice, and they're wearing creepy outerwear, which creeps like creepy outerwear. I don't know what this one is about. I don't want to know too much, but they just released the first trailer, and it's about a young woman that it looks like she's like transported into another time, and she kind of takes possession of another woman's life, and that woman is Anna Taylor-Joy. I don't know how the fuck her said, but I love her, so I'm really excited to see this one. I'm sure it will have elements of humor in it, but Edgar Wright is just such an amazing filmmaker, and I know he's gonna do an amazing job with this. I love the colors. I guess I haven't watched a ton of Giallo, but people were describing it as Giallo and Suspiria-esque, so I think it's gonna be awesome. That is my number one. I think it's gonna be a 5-star for me. Please give it to me now, Edgar. Fuck me up, Edgar, please. Another film I am anticipating is Welcome to Raccoon City, which is, I believe it's out September 3rd, and this is coming out on Netflix, and it's from the director of 47 Meters Down and Strangers Pray at Night, I believe, but don't quote me on that. I should have done my research, but what are you gonna do? I don't feel like it sometimes. This is a new reboot of the Resident Evil film series based on Capcom's best-selling video game series about zombies. And so this one follows, I think it's taking place on the night of Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, the games. So it's gonna have the police station, it's gonna have Raccoon City, obviously, it's gonna have Jill, Valentine, Chris Redfield, it's gonna have Claire and Leon, and those are well-known characters, and I like that they're actually going back to the game and pulling out actual storylines and characters from the game, because the original Resident Evil films from Paul W.S. Anderson, or whatever the fuck his name is, he just created his own characters, and he created this Alice character who, I mean, she's cool and all, but she's not Jill Valentine or Claire Redfield. When you had these amazing established characters already, why didn't you use them? So I'm excited to see what they do with it, and I have high hopes. And I like the director's previous work. I really enjoyed 47 Meters Down. I thought it was such a blast. It's such a fun, exciting shark movie. And Strangers Prey at Night was also super fun, which is weird to say because it's about people who are killing people like viciously, but juxtaposed with fun 80s music and bright 80s colors, so it's like you can't help but have a good time. I don't know. I promise I don't like watching people die. The first one I want to talk about is Chapelwaite on Epix. So this is basically based on the Salem's Lot prequel, Jerusalem's Lot. This, I think it's going to be set back in, it's going to be a time period piece. I don't know the exact time. I just read this story in Night Shift by Stephen King, and I don't want to say much, but it felt very like Telltale Heart to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but Adrian Brody stars in this. I love Salem's Lot. That's my favorite Stephen King story. Next show I'm excited for is Dexter. It's gonna be premiering on Showtime, and it's a reboot. I think a reboot of the original series, which was phenomenal the first like 4 seasons, and then the way it ends is just so remarkably bad. And I think we can all agree that the finale of Dexter sucked. It was fucking terrible. So I think they're trying to right their wrongs there with this. So if you don't know, Dexter follows a serial killer who lives by a code. He only kills bad people who deserve it. So I think this series is taking place where the last one left off. I think Dexter's living in this town under a different name, and he's living a normal life. And sure, something happens that sucks him back in where he has to start killing again. So we'll see how it goes. I think it can be fun. I don't know if they're planning on rebooting the whole series or they're just trying to make up for the end of the original series, which, I mean, whatever. I don't know how to feel about it because I was so bothered by the end. I mean, I didn't care that much, but it was just so, the series was so good, and then they just ruined characters like Deb, and it just ended so badly. I don't even want, I'm having PTSD. So hopefully this one will be better. I read that they might bring Deb back as like the voice in Dexter's head, like taking over for Harry, because he used to hear his dad's voice telling him what to do, like his reason, his voice of reason. So I'll be interested. I'm really interested. I hope it's good, okay? And the other show I'm really excited for is The Midnight Club on Netflix. Now, The Midnight Club is coming out from Mike Flanagan, who we all know from The Haunting of Hill House. He did Gerald's Game, Oculus, Dr. Sleep. He has proved that he knows what he's doing with horror. He has got it down. I enjoy pretty much everything he does. I think he makes interesting choices, bold choices. He's not afraid to do certain things, like the baseball boy in Dr. Sleep. And The Haunting of Hill House, season 1, phenomenal. I loved it. I didn't like season 2 as much, but I loved season 1. I love the premise of this. It's based on a Christopher Pike novel about a group of kids. It sounds very Dream Warriors to me, and the fun thing about this to me is that Heather Langenkamp is going to be in it. I'm getting Nancy vibes. I'm getting Dream Warrior vibes. So it's a horror mystery thriller. It's a 10-episode show, and it takes place at a hospice for terminally ill teenagers that begin gathering to share scary stories. And Flanagan will direct the first 2 episodes in the series. Those 2 are probably going to be great. I don't know much about it. I haven't read the book, but I like the premise, so I'm assuming that each episode will cover one of the kids' scary stories. And it sounds very Are You Afraid of the Dark to me. I'm very excited for that. And lastly, the last show I'm excited for is called From. And it's a sci-fi horror series coming from Epix. This is another Epix show. I don't have Epix, and I don't plan on getting it, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. From unravels the mystery of a nightmarish town in the middle of America that traps all those who enter. As the unwilling residents fight to keep a sense of normalcy and search for a way out, they must also survive the threats of the surrounding forest, including the terrifying creatures that come out when the sun goes down. Yes, yes, yes. I love small town mysteries, I love monsters, and it stars some interesting people like Lost alum Harold Perrineau, I don't know how to say his name, I'm sorry. But it's a sci-fi horror series, so it sounds interesting, and I don't know when it's coming out actually. It might not be coming out in 2021. Oh, never mind, it's coming out in 2022. But I'm still looking forward to it, so I'm killing it. I am nailing it. And there you have it. That's everything I'm excited for the rest of the year. What are you looking forward to seeing most? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll leave all my social links so we can connect on there, become spooky besties, and talk about spooky shit. Talk about all the spooky shit we're excited for, like, you know, Edgar Wright coming out with a horror movie, finally, and how the fuck Michael Myers got out of that burning basement, and whether or not Kyle Richards will do a good job in Halloween Kills, and yeah. I'll catch you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.